pickups for this guitar showed up. It's plastic on the top. There's like a plastic. I don't know if that's like a gloss epoxy. They sound, they're potted, but they sound like they could, they're very solid sounding on top, almost rubbery. But they sound like they could have a slightly microphonic quality. This one is the bridge. This one sounds more potted than the neck one. This one sounds more microphonic, which is good. These are hand wound. It says manual wound. Aluminum nickel cobalt 5, which should be a lot brighter than what's in there, is very dark. And I checked the resistance of ohms, and this one's almost 6.6, which is like a, a super hot Stratocaster pickup. So that's awesome. They're not going to be dark at all. You can always roll back the tone and get a nice dark tone, but you can never put the brights back in. And then this one is just slightly more at about 6.7, but I'm too exhausted to hook them up to the amp and scratch them and compare, because when I make the video, I want to, I'm going to take the plastic off them and tap, scratch, and then quick switch to the other guitar and tap, scratch, instead of playing it, so that you can hear, and I can hear, the difference in the pickups before that I go to switch them, because I'm excited. I already know these are going to sound way more what I want for my playing. These are dark and round and thick, and to play like this without a pick, and not be able to get a little clink of the fingernails or anything, and have it always be dark and dull and kind of monotone. This is aluminum nickel cobalt 5. This is going to be crisp and bright, and not bright, but I'll be able to get much more spectral sounds out of it, more vocal fingernail scratching and thumb warmth and pluck, and they shouldn't be overly hot. Well, they're not. 6.6 and 6.7. That's like, I think these are. I'm so excited. I know it doesn't seem hot to other people, but I think it's going to sound great. And I'll make a comparison video. of them. Yeah, I just checked them on the voltage meter. But I'll make a comparison video. I think they're going to sound good. And the video will be, tap and scratch and listening to the, it's very bright, it's very crunchy, crackly, and tap it with my nail, not metal, slightly microphonic. Well, that's good. This one's more microphonic than the other one, and listen to them, and then plug in the guitar and do the exact same thing to the guitar with my fingernail and with the screwdriver, and let you hear the difference, just to show you, so that's because I like to share information with people. See, that's useful. And I learned that, you don't have to hold these over the string and pluck the string. You can get to know what you like in a pickup and what the character of a pickup is going to sound like by scratching and listening with a screwdriver and tapping with your fingernail, and whether it has any microphonics to it at all, or qualities of microphonics or personality. And the spectrum, scratch softly and hear that or you can hear the higher end in there. Say, all right, I can hear what the voice of these pickups is going to sound like. But I'm exhausted. So I've been going and going, so I'm not going to make that video right now, but I wanted to share that with you. They came today from the Amazon, under $40, manual wound, which means very good in the realm of having a microphonic personality, even though they're wax potted and sealed and shielded. they're going to have some microphonic personality to them, even if they're not, hello, hello, check. Even if they're not microphonic, they're going to have microphonic qualities and tappability, and you hear knocking and bumping, and they're going to have a vintage tone to them because they're manual wound, right? If you take, I made a bunch of pickups. I made a lot of pickups, actually. Not a lot. I did. I made a lot, and I messed up a lot, and I made some really, really great. Really great sounding. Where's it? Really, right? Really. I made some very good sounding pickups, like probably the best sounding pickups I ever heard, and it was a certain way that I was winding them very sloppily on purpose because I had, the mentality or the attitude. Well, if I'm going to hand wind these, I might as well make them like a bird's nest. What's the point? Otherwise, I might have a machine that just does like a fishing reel does with a baler and goes, and puts it on there so perfectly tight that there's no gapping or space or sponginess to them. Well, these get potted and waxed, but they're manually wound, which is specified, which means they're going to be spongy. And it's not poly wire, it's enamel wire,